spend a ton of time doing this. Smart plans. So from a contact here, how do you put them on any kind of a drip campaign, right? See these little tags across the top here. Here's opportunities. We'll get into that in just a few minutes. But smart plans, you can add them to a smart plan. These are all the different types of smart plans that are there. If you want to find out what's happening in a smart, or what happens in a smart plan, monthly neighborhood nurture, 1 touch, 3 steps. Just click the arrow right next to it, drop it down, it'll tell you it sends an email, waits 30 days, and then does it again.
Okay, where was that? That was under.
So after you've created a contact, right, and you've got an address, or you have associated a neighborhood with them. So let's say I sat open houses and I knew it was Central Kihei, and they may be looking south, central, north Kihei. I don't know where they live, I didn't get their address, but they did sign up in the sign-in sheet when they did open house, so I've got phone number and email at least, right? So maybe I'll set them up with north, central, and south Kihei. And I'll have a phone call with them later and say, oh, you live in Nebraska, you're home now, are you still looking? That kind of thing. So I could send them something to Nebraska.
And if they want specific complexes, you can do the same with
Neighborhoods, not complexes.
Can you draw like you do on the, like draw the map? Like
You can, and what they're asking for, what a lot of agents are asking for right now is because our partnership with Neighborhoods is through Nextdoor, they want us to be able to create tighter street-defined addresses or neighborhoods. So you could draw out a complex.
Okay. Or
Cam Sands or
like code to
yeah. Oh yeah, and you can do that right now if you just want to select an area.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can. They can do it too on your website.
On here, but not on the MLS. You can do
No,
that.
oh, they'll do it on your website, on your idea, on your search on your website.
Okay.
Yeah, and you'll get pinged in command saying, hey, somebody just set up a search, and maybe they looked at a house and they said, I like it. You get a text in your timeline about that too. So. Where are we at? First and foremost, always prospecting for business, for now business. So this is talking about the importance of prospecting. I think we all know that, and Nicole hammers it home. And it's true. If you don't prospect, that's the kind of business you're gonna have. So you gotta get out and do it, right? And I stood. We have a class called Bold. I stood at the airport with self-stamped, addressed postcards with my business card attached to it, trying to get people to call me, and I just stood there. You know that you pick up your bags and you go down to where you used to get the rental cars. You take the shuttle out to get the rental car, and I stood there. I felt like one of those guys in Las Vegas that taps the car. Right? So, and I stood there. I'm like, hey, would you like a home? Hey, would you like? I only did that for 3 days. And I said, I can't do that anymore. That's horrible. But there are other ways to do it. Shaved ice. I did 3 days at shaved ice, talking to people in line. Yeah. And then I went home and crashed because I ended up having shaved ice. So let's talk about putting tags into your database. You guys you see the sheet with the different tags on, right? If those tags work for you, I would say go ahead and put them in. It's okay. In command, under your name, again, under settings. In settings, command settings. Your contacts, tags go on contacts, so contact settings, custom tags. So this is an easy way to create a list. You can do it contact by contact, but if you want to set up like a list of tags, let's say you've taken the time and you've thought about it, you've written down what your tags are going to be. Mainland buyer, on-island buyer, renter only, looking hot, that kind of thing. I don't even know if I put hot because we have opportunities for that. You can create the list right here, create a new tag. Say it's select the color, create the tag. So now when you go back over, if you type in CCC, tag will come up, you can tag your contacts with that, you can tag bulk contacts, you can select 5 contacts and tag them with that tag. So, just remember now, when you're using tags, like, this one doesn't have anything on it. The ones that don't have colors and are this structure, those are system tags, you can't delete them. But anything you create, you can delete as long as you're not using it. So if you've got a contact in there, you can't delete it. Go to the contact, take the tag off that contact, then you can go back and delete it. Talked a little bit about campaigns. I think here it talks about Mets, haven't Mets, and referrals. Referrals are still pretty much the same. I'm on page 21. Referrals haven't changed. Our terminology between Mets and haven't Mets are kind of going leads and contacts. Mets, haven't Mets, haven't. They're talking haven't met are people you don't know, yet you will contact them to ask about helping with their real estate needs. So to me, how do you not know them if you're contacting them? You must have gotten a lead, right, somehow. So I would say your haven't Mets are like leads, and your Mets are basically contacts that you're having a two-way conversation with. Sources of haven't Mets. This is, I found this one kind of funny. House of Worship roster. So what are you supposed to, what are you doing? You're going to church and you see the sign-in sheet? You're gonna take a picture of it?
If it's a church basketball team, maybe you can just get on the roster or something.
There you go, yeah, that's true, that's true.
People you know from church.
Yeah, that's true, that's true. So geo farms, geographic farms. Everybody's already got the technology of the app, right? So have you guys shared it with anybody yet? Have you shared it with yourself, maybe?
The app?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. What's that?
I just like that house of worship.
I know. Yeah, I was reading through this last night. So the funny thing is, we're still changing this from the edge to the new command thing. So Nicole had sent me a marked up copy without a whole bunch of get rid of this, we're not talking about this anymore. Okay, fine. And when I opened it, it opened up the old copy that had all that in it. And I was like, oh, this is, and I read it 3 times for class today. I come and look at this and it's beautiful. It's just different than what I read last night. So, we're supposed to review the goals, ask for business. That's kind of a cardinal sin if you're not asking for business from people. It's okay to ask. The worst you're gonna get is no. It's okay. Ask for referrals. Referrals, that's a big business. So, funny referral story. My last referral was from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I live in Kihei Villages. The referral was to a guy that lives in Kihei Villages 200 yards over, 200, yeah, about 200 yards away from me. He lives in building 13, I'm in building 27.
Oh, okay.
He's a school teacher at Kihei Elementary. And yet the referral came from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Our referral network is huge. Does anybody, if you go into command and you take a look at the referral network, go ahead.
I was gonna ask you, I got 2 that came in that want to connect with me, but I don't know where to go from there.
2 that came into.
Yeah, they're trying to meet me to connect. They want
Okay.
me to be the referral for Maui, and then one is Vegas and one's in, I don't know, California, I think.
Okay.
So,
So you get the contact through command, is that, or
well,
Kelly?
it came through my email, and it says Jasmine, that's the wrong one. It's like, hi, my name is something, and I'm with Keller Williams, and they wanna be connected.
Referral partner, right?
Referral partner, yeah.
Yeah, I've gotten a lot of those
Yeah,
recently.
so where do we go from there?
Where do you go from
Do
there?
we- Is that in
You can go into Kelly,
Kelly, okay.
right? Yeah. And in Kelly, I don't have a way to hook up my phone, but in Kelly, there's a way to go to referrals, and you can search that agent up.
I see.
So if you just go to the, you know, when you open Kelly, there's that search bar at the bottom.
Okay.
You could say, click the microphone and say, find agent so-and-so. Come up, see if you get lucky and it finds the person. And then in the little strip below her picture,
Uh-huh,
there's a referral network.
okay.
Add to referral network, and then she'll get a text that says, hey, yeah, I'm gonna do this. Do you wanna do this? You sure?
In the middle of that bottom bar, right in the middle, it says connect, and if you click that, referral network is the bottom.
Okay, great, yeah. They're doing a lot of work at Command right now, looking at migration points. So where deals are happening, where people are moving to and from. So you can imagine the 190,000 units, right? So they're mapping all of these deals and showing migration points. So pretty soon we'll be able to target migration points. Multiples. So we know it's California, we know it's Oregon, we know it's Washington and DC, right? We know those. There's more too.
And even New York went by man,
True,
like
a
man.
lot of Jersey folks here, yeah. So, keep in mind why you want their information to build a relationship. It's not just a contact. If the contact sits in your database, it's not worth anything to you. You have to actually touch them. So contacts are contacts until you have to make it a little bit more than just a contact. Classifying tags, we talked about that on page 25. Here's the thing about tags. You'll use them, and then you'll find out that maybe that's not the right tag. Get the people off them, your tags will adjust over time. Mine have adjusted 2 or 3 times over time. There's another page here of stuff that I don't really even use. But would you rather, I guess the thought is, would you rather be able to create the tags on your own, so you know kind of what you're doing, or would you rather have somebody say, this is a standard set of tags and you have to use these? Well, both, right? Yeah. So we're doing both, the system tags and then you can custom whatever you want.
Robert, and once, let's assume just for giggles that you have all your contacts imported into Command from all your sources,
Okay.
and you've got them all tagged,
Sure.
which is gonna take me forever.
Right.
But you got them all tagged, and all the tags are right, they're correct.
Yep.
Okay?
You're happy with it, yeah?
You're gonna use these tags for what? Mailings, drip campaigns?
Right, okay.
How are you gonna use them?
Yeah, so
You know?
let's say I go back to my contacts. Let's go back here. Contacts. And, let's say open house guests. So I want to sort by open house guests, and I want to send everybody a note or something. I want a list of who I need to contact, right? So I click on open house guests. Remember the filter, right? We did that yesterday. Make sure your filter. Make sure this is, when you're in contacts, it'll default first name, last name. Make sure if you want to search something, just go down and say everything, right? And then open house guests. will
Then
come
they'll
up.
show up.
Yeah,
Okay.
so now you've got a list in here that you can work with, it's not your, 5,000.
So this is a list of the subset of all your 5,000 contacts.
Right.
This is
Yeah.
50 people.
I wish it was 5,000.
Well, but
It
it's-
was at one point, but they were duplicates. Right?
It's, I used to do open houses all the time. So it's 50 people,
Yep,
and you're gonna use this to,
I could use this to build a list, so I could go into campaigns, I could, kind of stepping sideways, but it's a good question, so. We're gonna do a direct mail campaign.
okay, so you're gonna use this list to mail somebody something.
Right, and now you can sort your, let's say, create a new campaign. It'll say, do you wanna add contacts, or would you like to add tags? So let's say you've got them tagged up just the way you like it, you're happy with it, why not send them to a group instead of,
Okay.
it'll import that tag list, and then direct mail would presuppose you have their address.
So if you click on create a new campaign, and then you could click open house, what was it called, open house guests?
Open house guests.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you could click on email.
Yeah.
Let's assume you got all their emails. God almighty, how you did that, I don't
Yeah.
know. And you could click on open house guests, and you send this thing out to all those people, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So you would create an email list, and then you would save the list, and you would use that list to market with. And it will save that list until you delete it. So you can go
Well, you
back
don't-
to that list.
You don't have to keep making the list every time you.
No, no. It'll keep a history of the list that you were using, and when you go back here, let me go back. And I say, add a list.
Yeah.
Where's the list name? I think I had one in there. I don't. The reason I don't have a list in there right now is they're going through a transition with MailChimp, is our current email provider. MailChimp, halfway through our implementation with them, decided they wanted to start a different pricing model, CRM type business. Keller Williams said, that's not gonna work for us, so they backed away. So what I'm hearing is at Family Reunion, they're gonna announce, we were gonna go through MailJet, which is who our monthly neighborhood nurtures go out through right now. MailJet got bought by MailGun. So we are contracted, I believe. They won't say it officially yet because nobody wants to steal Gary's thunder. But I think what I've been hearing is we're contracted through MailGun, the purchaser of MailJet, who's gonna be our big email provider.
So in this list name, you'd put open house guests.
Yep.
On your list. Now, here's the next question. That list, as of today, got 50 people in it.
Yep.
Every one of us in this room goes out and sits open house all next week, and we get another 25. And we put them in our contacts list, and we put them as open house guests.
Yes.
The next time that this
Creates the
brings
list.
up this list, are those people automatically added to that list?
That's a good question. I don't know. They should be, because they have that tag.
Because otherwise you have to create the list all over.
You'd have to create the list and overwrite the other list, yeah.
Right, but I mean, does it automatically, I mean, if I say open house guest, is it now 75 or is it the original 50? That's.
Is it dynamic or?
Is it,
static?
yeah.
Yeah. A good question. I don't know the answer to that. I
Okay.
don't know.
It's all right.
Yeah. So. Oh wait, there's a question here that's it's funny. Everybody should know the answer to this.
Uh-oh.
It's an easy one. What do you do with a hot lead?
Call,
When?
no.
Right. Easy. If somebody's hot, don't wait. Another agent's gonna get them if you don't, so. Answer your phone, if you're one of the people that doesn't answer your phone, you gotta answer your phone. You know, I've heard too many horror stories where somebody was looking for somebody, they didn't answer the phone, that went to somebody else. It's that fast. Name in the phone book, I'm gonna call this one, or name online. Zillow, Premier App, Agent, whatever, right? Classifying contacts, we went over that. I'm on page 27 now. It says here, qualify each of your contacts into a status, hot, cold, active, or inactive. I don't know about that, and Nicole and I were talking about that, and if they're cold, they'll sit in your contacts, and you'll touch them as you normally do. If they're hot, you'll have them in opportunities, and you'll be tracking them at a higher level. So, that's kind of what opportunities is for, and that's where this training kind of missed it, because it didn't have it. Campaigns, everybody's clear on campaigns, or should we talk a little bit more about what kind of campaigns there are? Okay. No, sorry. Well, we know about mail marketing, direct mail, social posts, that kind of campaign, but I'm talking about the actual smart plans.
Yeah,
Right.
please.
Yeah.
Like drip campaign.
Drip campaigns, right, known as drip campaigns. So there is a library out there. Once you're in command, we had a hard time finding this yesterday, at least I did. In these bi-weekly so monthly neighborhood nurture, bi-weekly neighborhood nurture, you can see the different steps. If you want to really see what it's doing, it'll tell you. In order to, these are templates, so in order to use them, you'll say add smart plan, and it'll add it into your smart plans. And then you can add contacts to it. You can't, from here, you can import those plans. So what's coming down the pipe is you're gonna be able to create custom plans. So the engine's getting updated and now you'll be able to create your own custom smart plans to do whatever you want. All sorts of different kinds of triggers. Open house follow-up, birthday, 8x8. So a combination of these smart plans, let's say four thank you notes, a monthly neighborhood nurture, that's 12 plus 4, 16. You've got, you can go and do an 8x8 or a follow-up. I think here's how we get to a 36 touch. It's 4 quarterly calls, 26 emails, 2 events, so take them out to coffee, take them out to dinner, that kind of thing, right? And 4 items of value. Magnets, I mean, if anyone's sending magnets, that's fine, but coffee cups, whatever, items of value, right? And that'll get you to a 36 touch. It's a little bit different than thinking of pieces of mail that go out, and that would be, because in E-Edge it was all mail that went out, all email that went out. There were a couple of action items in there. Call them, you know, maybe have an event, do that. It's the same thing, just a different way of getting it.
That's 36 touches per year or to a sale or?
Per year.
Per year, okay.
Items of value,
Does anybody, sorry.
that's all right, yeah.
Does any, okay, if I'm a buyer or a seller of real estate, I'm not a real estate agent.
Yep.
And I have an agent contacting me. And an agent is contacting me in some form 36 times a year.
Seems like a lot, right?
That's 3 times a month. I mean, it'd be kind of like, dude, calm down.
Yeah.
I mean, doesn't anybody ever say, you know what, that's a little bit too much?
I get it, I
Yeah.
get it, yeah. Some people like those, some people don't.
God, just,
It feels like a lot, it sounds like it's a lot, but when you're getting maybe take a look at your neighborhood, and it doesn't all have to be about real estate, it's not all asking for business and referrals, it could be, you know, look at what's going on at this event in Maui, could be that.
right.
So, it still seems like a lot. I get it, you might dial it back to 24.
Yeah,
You know, it really depends on the person. You know, we don't have to be a one-to-many anymore, we can be a one-to-one. So you have somebody who says, I only need to talk to you twice a year. I'm committed to you, twice a year is fine, and if I need something, I'll call you. Well, how about 4 times a year? That's the max. Okay, so you put them on 4
I
times.
always heard like between 6 and 18. But
6
any
and-
more than that, you're a pest. I mean, you really are. You're like gum on the bottom of my shoe.
So-
man. 36 times a year. Judas Priest, man.
Yeah?
I don't even talk to my parents.
No, that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, I would, they're not around anymore, but yeah, I get it, when they were
That's-
around, I
that's-
didn't talk to them that much.
Matthew, that's what I'm getting at. I mean, it's kind
No,
of like,
I'm on your
dude,
team. I think,
Yeah.
I just think about, if I'm selling to myself, that I would literally cut them out.
Run the other way,
Yeah.
yeah, hit the unsubscribe button.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, the nice part about it is we're sending it from different places, so you unsubscribe from one, you're still good.
Oh, so you're multiple pieces of gum on the bottom of my shoe.
Yes, that's right,
Okay.
yes, you take one off, and still got 3.
Yeah, you still got 4 pieces of gum on my shoe. Judas.
So, I mean, you have to do what works for you. Statistically, they've run some, research around this, and they're saying from a lead to a contact, average amount of touches is about 19 to get them to a contact, from a lead to a contact. So if you're talking that, if you're getting a contact to engage with you in an appointment or a deal, it's probably gonna be around 36, and it may not take that long, it may not take a year, it may take 6 months, which is 18, right? So some of these things go on for years. What's the average, so somebody buys a home from you, what's the average amount of time that they'll possibly sell that home?
5 years.
5, yeah. And I've heard 3 to 7, so you're right, that's right in the middle, yeah. So, the old stat said 10, but people are moving a lot quicker. So.
If you're in an escrow with somebody,
Yeah.
you're talking to them 2 or 3
times
times
a
a week.
Yeah.
I mean, at least.
Yeah.
And if you're not, there's something wrong.
Yeah.
But I mean, if it's somebody that just came into your open house,
Right.
man, you're hitting them 36 times, it's kinda like, oh, this guy again, God almighty.
So all I'm trying to do from that point, that's a lead, all I'm trying to do is get them to a contact so I can get their email, their phone number, that kind of stuff. And that would be 19 touches in a year. But if it doesn't take a year, it's not gonna be 19 touches. So maybe once a month, maybe,
Yeah.
That's at least a 12 touch, right? So, yeah. I'm on page 34 now, we've kind of run through a bit of it. Campaigns are meant to offer value to your contacts. What items do you think would be of value? We just kind of talked about what we thought too much value was. The key to add a contact the key to add a contact, the key is to add a contact to a touch campaign as soon as possible. It's okay if people leave your database. You're gonna keep adding people to your database. You don't really wanna kick them out of your database, but if they choose to leave, I understand your point. You don't want it to be because it's sticking out on the shoe. But there are some people probably in your database that maybe don't belong there, right? I have some people in my database and I look at them all the time because they come up on call lists and I skip them. Why are they in my database if I'm not gonna call them? As soon as you meet somebody new, get the contact information, try and get the 4, 2 is nice, phone, email and phone so you can call them. Add them to your database. There's been times with the Kelly app where I've been somewhere, everybody uses grocery store or Starbucks, not really, it could be anywhere. And I just open the Kelly app, I say add a contact, I hand them my phone, and they type in their information, hit enter, they're in the database. And
Kelly puts them in your command database for you?
Yeah. So, I've done that at open houses too, where I, instead of having a sign-in sheet, hand them the app, would you mind filling that out?
Just have an iPad there.
Yeah. With command, you can actually create a digital listing presentation for your open house, and put a sign-in sheet on the bottom of it. On your iPad, you can have the iPad say, have a look around, fill out the sheet. You don't know if they did, it's kind of nice with a sheet, because you can hand them a pen, and say, come on, sign in.
So where do you do that from?
Click the little microphone button, Kelly, the blue one.
Oh, I don't have that.
Oh.
That's different.
Yeah, download
Yeah.
Kelly. Yeah,
Okay.
go to the App Store and download Kelly. It's a freebie.
There's a lot going on here. I didn't even know that was another one.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you'll like Kelly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kelly, what's it called?
K-E-L-L-E.
It doesn't say it anywhere about that app, or I.
This training that has
No,
it yet?
the Kel app, that Kelly app, sorry.
It didn't?
Is it saved to download that app somewhere?
No,
Oh, okay,
no.
that's why we don't know, okay.
It might be the next class.
Okay.
You'll be ahead of the game.
Got it.
I think we were told in our I think I had it since our course.
It might be a plugging in step that you had with Sam or something, or Latasha or
Something.
somebody.
I had that was like I got that one before I knew the other one.
Got it, I just got it.
Those are the two, so Kelly is gonna be turned into command mobile, so you'll have basically command in your hand.
So this is, Kelly is gonna be the command.
The agent mobile,
Yeah.
command mobile
Cool.
piece, yep. And then the Keller Williams app is gonna get an upgrade, and it's going to be our consumer facing app.
Okay.
So that's the one everybody's been waiting for.
So just the 2 apps.
Just the 2 apps on our end, yep.
Okay.
Yeah, well, there are other apps, but they're for like mega camp and
Yeah, I
for
know, I
family
saw
reunion,
them.
looking events and that kind of stuff, so.
I have a question.
Yeah,
So when I was talking to my coach, he was saying something about, you know, when you're, and maybe I missed this. We can
Dan or
talk.
Keone?
Dan.
Dan, okay.
And, you know, he talks, I think somebody was bringing up emails. You can use your email or create a new email or use your KW email. But you can also
Oh.
come up with a
E-
new one that's easy for people to remember. And he's like a lot of people, like he uses Dan on Maui.
Yep,
So,
because it's the same as his, website, Dan on Maui.
yeah,
Yeah.
something to, and we can use that as, like, I don't know, I don't want to mix up my emails. I just want a separate one. I don't really want to put my whole
How many
name.
emails do you have right now?
Months?
I'm sorry?
Months, what do you mean?
Oh, how many emails do you have? Email addresses? At least 5?
4.
Yeah. I think all of us do, right? Anybody have less than 4?
Okay. But like, they're all separated, so I want this one to be separated.
Another separate, I would talk to Sam, and she'll be able,
Does
Sam,
she-
front desk over here.
Yeah, does she have to, like, she has to give us one, or can I just create one on my own and
It
use
has
it?
to go into your Keller Williams white pages. So when
Yeah.
you go to the Keller Williams app, there'll be a white pages directory of all the agents.
Yeah,
You don't want that email to be the one that you're not using. You want that to be the one that you decide to use, so just
Yeah.
make sure she knows,
oh, okay,
so,
yeah,
that's all.
got it, thank you.
Yeah. Page 35, action plan, prepare for your next class, recall and remember. Continue to add contacts to your database, create tags, we talked about tags, add all your contacts with PySync if possible, if not. We talked about this, there's a spreadsheet you can use to add contacts. If you like spreadsheets, it's under add contact and then contacts. Import, you select import in this download right here, we'll download a spreadsheet. That, let's say you go to another app, you're not able to use PySync for whatever reason, right? You can download your CSV file, if you can, out of your other app. You can import those numbers into this template, drop this template in, it churns for a little bit, and then adds contacts. And if you don't have my email address, let me write it down, or I'll just tell it to you, it's REI KENBERRY @kw.com. I get a lot of phone calls, a lot of questions, I don't mind them, keeps me spinning, so if you have questions or you run into a problem, it's okay.
Can you spell that again, please?
REI, REI KENBERRY @kw.com.
So that's yours,
That's mine, yeah.
but you use like the, at the kw.com.
I do, I used a Gmail for a while.
Yeah,
And then,
and-
I don't know why I switched, I just did.
But do you use that on
It's
your
probably
website?
because my last name's dang long.
I know.
I wanted something short on the other end
Yeah.
after the @ symbol.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, that's true. But
Yeah.
do you have a website?
I
Your own
do.
website?
I do,
Is this,
not even close.
so you have 2 separate
Yeah,
ones?
the website is luckylivemaui.com.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that's what your logo is,
yeah, and I
okay.
could change the email to do that, but
Yeah.
Yeah. Nicole is asking to put all of your contacts on a 36 touch program. So 36 touches is going to be what we talked about before, right? Would be
A lot of touching.
4 quarterly calls, not invasive, 26 emails, that's 2 a month. Well, close. And then 2 events. Take them out to coffee, go to a movie with them, something like that, depending on what it is. And then it says 4 items of value. I don't think you have to send them labeled pens or things like that. You can, items of value could be anything, whatever you decide. Could be a coffee cup, could be, a thank you note. That's valuable.
Is the CMA about their condo complex a thing of value?
I think so. Yeah.
I would think.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't need any pens from Joe Blow with his name on it. I need to find out
Go to Caravan, you'll get all the pens you need.
what the heck the places are selling for next door to.
Yeah. Download the paperwork for next class. I think you don't have to download it, it's printed out. And then find your homes for preview. If anybody doesn't, I think, give me just a second here. Oh, I guess there's a sheet in there where you're supposed to fill in your ahas.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
38.
behaviors and stuff for class, so she had you do that after the first class, right?
Nope.
No? So
No,
it's,
but there is one here on page
apparently we're
38.
task loading,
Yep.
so we're gonna put another task on there. So. Behaviors, ask how you will translate your aha into concrete changes in your behaviors. Example, aha, I need to practice my scripts, behavior change, find a script partner and schedule some time. Tools, list the tools you use to achieve real behavior change. Accountability tool, time blocking, calendar. Yeah, so pretty straightforward there. When's your guys' next class? You get a day off or is it
Tomorrow.
tomorrow? It's tomorrow. So they're revamping this whole course. So instead of having it be a 3-hour class,
Uh-huh. It's gonna be 2. What?
I can't talk that fast. So, no, it's gonna be a whole bunch more classes, and they're online right now. Jay, anybody familiar with Jay Patterson, the one who wrote the Millionaire Real Estate book with Gary?
Yeah.
His wife, I think it's Julie Patterson,
Uh-huh.
is teaching, they call them Sparks.
Yeah.
So it's an hour, and I think they're on Spark 18.
And there's how many sparks? Because there's gonna be like 3
Yeah, this
times
is
as
brand new
many.
class, brand new course set up, so.
It's just online?
Yep, it's on, well, right now it's just online. So Nicole's watching it and teaching this class.
And then eventually,
We
no
may
more
move-
Ignite.
We may move to that model.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Where it's a little bit smaller, because what happens in 3 hours, if you're not taking breaks, is eyes glaze over, minds go somewhere else. At home, when you're doing stuff, they tell you to set a 40-minute timer. After 40 minutes, get up and move around.
That's how they told us to study. They said don't do anything more than, especially if you're older, so.
I'm surprised we held it together for 2.5. Yeah. I didn't even notice any glazed over eyes because I'm staring on. Yeah.
Yesterday, you showed us, the little cards that you move from like opportunities.
In opportunities.
That's
yeah.
in opportunities.
Yeah, so,
Okay.
we'll touch on it real quick, in opportunities. Opportunities. So in order to create an opportunity, you just need a contact. So that was create an opportunity. It comes up, it kind of lists a whole bunch of stuff. Is it a listing opportunity or is it a buyer opportunity, right? Landlord or tenant if you're doing leases. So it says buyer opportunity, client, you can select, you can start typing. C-R. Maybe needs 2 to find it, but you can plug in one of your contacts here. And you can select a co-buyer, let's say Craig. Estimated close date, so these aren't required down here, but for an opportunity, all the red asterisks are required. So you could create, let's say you've got somebody that's hot, and you've got them in a list of 500, and you don't want them in a list of 500 because it's too hard to find. You don't want to create a custom filter because that just takes up space in the custom filters. So you create an opportunity and you put them in under buyer, under cultivate. So then you can go into your opportunities and look at, so we'll create this one, buyer. He's in cultivate. Opportunity stage is nurture, watch. We'll say watch. Create. You don't know about the deal yet, so I guess it wants you to, I start with the standard then 3.0. So now he's created, I can go in here and add more details if I want to. Or, let's get back out, go to sales pipeline. He's now down here in buyers. His name is Craig Reichard. Right here, he's in watch. So you're just moving these cards back and forth. So he's in a cultivate stage. I could move Craig saying, okay, this seems backwards to me that hot, nurture, and watch. It seems like hot should be over here because it's moving to the next.
The conveyor belt.
Yeah. But let's say I got an appointment with Craig. I can move him up to appointment and just drop him.
How did you get here from the pipeline?
There's 2 different ways to get there. So from the pipeline page, I see it. So you've got one in here. I'll click on him.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and that'll get you in there. And then, see how this is only half of it? It actually scrolls farther over this way. There's just no arrow there telling you that.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions? Is everybody questioned out? Don't have to be. I'll answer more. If I can.
I think I hit my absorption.
Yeah.
max and
The
stuff.
sponge is leaking. All right. I get to go a little bit more free range when I do the command 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 class. So there's a 1, 2, 3, which is basically this. And then there's a 4, 5, 6 where we dig a little bit deeper into opportunities and some of the other features in command.
Is that all
Designs.
classes or those are separate?
Those are separate from Ignite,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
separate from Ignite. Tech is taking on a larger role in command. I think what happened recently at the last family reunion, which was in Louisiana, Gary came on stage and said that he said we're no longer a real estate company, we're a technology company. Not really true. I mean, it was true, because what he was trying to do is he was trying to hire technologists to build the tech. So we're still a real estate company that relies heavily on new tech. So, but if you say you're a real estate company, all the big tech guys want to go to startups. They don't want to come to a real estate company. Seems sound poor. So, well, I'll let you guys have the rest of the day. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Again, if you guys run into any problems, I know 30 minutes from now it's all gonna seep out. Yeah, right? You go home and you look at it and you're like, what the heck did he get, right? Yeah. Should be a text, I'm fine. Have a good day, guys.